Shadows Beyond the Stars. Chapter 1. The Arrival. The dying sun of the planet Kaelith cast an eerie crimson glow over the jagged mountains and sprawling wastelands. The Abyssal Vanguard, a colony ship carrying the remnants of humanity, descended onto the alien soil. Commander Selene Voss led her crew, a band of scientists, soldiers, and engineers, into the unknown. But something felt wrong. Ancient ruins dotted the horizon, pulsing faintly with unnatural energy. The weight of their mission pressed heavily on Selene's shoulders. They were humanity's last hope for survival. Chapter 2. The Obsidian Ruins. The team explored the alien structures, their surfaces etched with glowing runes. Dr. Kaelith, the mission's xenologist, theorized that the ruins predated humanity by millennia. Strange patterns were etched into the metal walls, each glowing faintly as if alive. As night fell, shadows moved in the corners of their vision, and whispers filled the air. One soldier vanished without a trace, his rifle left behind, still warm. Fear began to creep through the ranks. Chapter 3. Echoes in the Dark. Selene ordered a lockdown at the colony's forward base, but the strange energy from the ruins interfered with their systems. Communication with the orbiting Abyssal Vanguard became erratic. Meanwhile, the team discovered a vast underground network beneath the ruins, pulsating with a dark and sentient presence. A faint droning hum reverberated through the stone corridors, pulling at the edges of their sanity. Chapter 4. The First Descent. Dr. Kaelith and a squad of soldiers descended into the ruins' depths, discovering a massive crystalline core surrounded by alien glyphs. The crystals emitted a low hum, resonating deep within their chests. One soldier touched the surface and screamed. His body contorted, his eyes glowing briefly before he collapsed, lifeless. The others pulled back in terror, but Kaelith's fascination only grew. Chapter 5. The Awakening. The colony's perimeter alarms blared. Shadows erupted from the ruins, attacking the camp with claws and fangs of shadowy energy. Selene fought valiantly to protect her people, but casualties mounted. The alien presence wasn't just ancient, it was alive, and it was hungry. The survivors regrouped, but morale was fracturing as the alien force grew bolder. Chapter 6. Fractures. The survivors retreated to the main colony bunker, sealing the gates behind them. Dr. Kaelith deciphered fragments of the alien runes. The entity beneath the planet, known only as the Abyssal Mind, was awakening. Its influence crept into their thoughts, sowing paranoia and mistrust. Selene caught two soldiers arguing, their faces twisted with rage, as if something had possessed them. Chapter 7. The Sacrifice. Selene made a grim decision. A team would venture into the heart of the ruins to destroy the crystalline core and sever the connection with the Abyssal Mind. Volunteers stepped forward, knowing it was likely a one-way mission. Among them was Dr. Kaelith, whose obsession with the ruins had grown to a dangerous fervor. Before they departed, Selene addressed her crew, her voice steady despite the fear in her eyes. Chapter 8. Into the Abyss. The strike team descended once more into the ruins. The air grew colder, the shadows deeper. Alien murals lined the walls, depicting apocalyptic events across galaxies. The team began to hear voices, seductive, commanding, familiar. One by one, they began to falter. Private Ellis froze in place, whispering to something unseen before vanishing into the dark. Chapter 9. The Heart of Darkness. At the core of the ruins lay the Abyssal Mind, a massive, pulsating entity of swirling shadows and glowing runes. Dr. Kaelith approached it, entranced. Selene tried to stop him, but he merged with the entity, his body disintegrating as he became one with the darkness. The entity spoke directly into Selene's mind, offering her power, knowledge, anything she desired. Chapter 10. Light in the Dark. Selene activated the explosives planted around the core, but the entity fought back, distorting reality itself. Visions of past lives, lost comrades, and broken promises haunted her. With her final strength, she detonated the charges. The core shattered in a blinding burst of light, and the shadows recoiled in agony. Chapter 11. The Collapse. The ruins crumbled, and the ground above began to give way. Selene barely escaped as the shadowy energy dispersed into the sky, fading like smoke in the wind. The remaining survivors at the colony bunker watched as the ruins collapsed into the abyss. The alien threat had been stopped, for now. Chapter 12. Dawn on Kaelith. With the ruins destroyed and the abyssal mind silenced, the sun rose over Kaelith, casting light upon the battered survivors. Selene stood at the edge of the ruins, the weight of her losses heavy on her shoulders. Humanity had survived, for now. But deep within the void of space, faint echoes of the abyssal mind whispered, hinting that the darkness was far from gone. Epilogue, the last signal. Aboard the orbiting Ebon Vanguard, an encrypted message blinked on a forgotten console. It was not human. It was the final echo of the abyssal mind, sent out into the stars. Somewhere, in the vast reaches of space, something ancient stirred in response. The end.